Archway Developer CLI is the recommended tool to scaffold, build, deploy, configure, query, and interact with smart contracts on the Archway blockchain. It's an NPM package that can be installed globally and utilized within your terminal. It has a few dependencies which include npm, cargo, cargo generate, and Docker. Archway D is no longer a requirement for running the Archway Developer CLI. Let's go ahead and complete the installation. Before doing anything else, we need to have at least one account registered within your host's keyring to execute transactions on-chain. You can always use the help flag to see the various options available within each command. To create a new account, you would use the Archway's accounts new command. Make sure to save the mnemonic generated in a safe place. Archway CLI makes it effortless to scaffold a new project. You can bootstrap a project from various templates. Let's say we want to create an NFT project. We can use the CW721 on-chain metadata template as a starting point for your project. To create a new project from a template, enter Archway New and the name of the project. Select a chain to use for this project and then choose a name for your first contract that will be added to the project. Now select from a starter template. For this example, we will be using the CW721 with on-chain metadata. Archway Developer CLI uses a multi-contract workspace implementation, and therefore you can add any number of contracts to your project and have them easily compiled using the workspace optimizer via a simple command without any additional configuration and hair pulling. This allows for easy contract dependency implementation. So for example, to add a new contract to our project, we would execute Archway contracts new and follow the steps to complete the process. The updated folder structure will show the newly created contract within the project. It has never been simpler to compile and optimize your contracts for deployment on-chain. Firstly, make sure Docker is running and in the project folder, enter Archway contracts build. This will build and optimize each contract within the project. However, if you wish to only build one contract, you can add the name of the contract after the build command. One cool thing about the Archway Developer CLI is that it stores a log of all deployment type transactions executed. The file is not created until the first deployment transaction is executed, and there is a separate file for each network. Let's deploy the contract on-chain to see what happens. A new file will be generated according to the network where the deployment was performed, and it will contain the transaction details for that deployment. The CLI allows for the execution of any transaction that your contract is capable of handling. Let's instantiate an instance for the contract. For the NFT contract, we will need a minter address. Let's use the address of one of the wallets in the key store. If you go back to the config file, you will see the transaction information related to the instantiation. We can also retrieve data from our contracts. For instance, let's retrieve some basic contract information. There is so much more that can be done. Start playing around with the CLI and start building awesome dApps on top of the Archway network. Your blockchain adventure starts here.